This is just incredible information, Joe.
Dylan! Come on, baby! All right, everyone, this is what we're going to be doing.
The truth fairy. Fuck, I'm gonna leave, goddammit. A leprechaun.
Civil War. I've got to tweet this out.
Chocolate chip.
Yeah.
My dick's on fire.
Live from Command Center Alpha 1, it's the Our Big Dumb Mouth podcast. Now, here's your hosts, Midnight Mike, Juicy Joe, a.k.a. Flametown, and Gretchen.
Throw that down. Put that right there. Let's wake up!
Hey, everyone. Welcome back to a brand new, fun-filled podcast adventure. Hooray! I was trying to correct the screen before.
Trying to drag it out a bit?
Yeah, I was trying to drag it out before I tried to ramp it up before it really kicked in. My name's Midnight Mike, and Cratchit is over there, yes.
God, my image feed is all broken.
I didn't change anything.
No, it's on my side, because
okay.
Zoom moved crap, and that's what I was... it's a whole thing. House of Cards over here, people.
Yeah. Joe is not here today. He is not. It turns out he was elected president of the Beastie Boy fan club, so that's a big honor. And so he's touring the country giving policy statements in regards to the Beastie Boys. So that's fantastic news.
Some say he won that office via sabotage.
Yeah, I heard he did a lot of ballot harvesting for the districts that he was running in, but he loves the Beastie Boys. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, he wants that group to go intergalactic.
Yeah. Or planetary, whatever you want.
Yes.
I wonder, do I got any Beastie Boys drops? I wonder if I do.
Do you have Beastie Boys say... Do you have Mike D saying drop?
Do I have a Beastie Boy drop? No. I want to believe that I do somewhere, but I don't know if I do.
But you haven't updated your software to the one with the search engine, so you're just scanning through?
Let's see if I can find it before we get on with the show. This is like critical. Do I have a Beastie Boys drop? Maybe somewhere on my system. But for the life of me, I can't... wait, here it is.
Drop!
That is a Beastie Boys drop right there. It's the only one you need.
I believe that is Mike D saying that.
Yeah.
Hit me!
It's Flavor Flav. It is Wednesday, people.
the fourth Beastie Boy.
Here come the drums!
That's Chuck D and Flavor Flav. It is... Wednesday, people. Thank you for showing up to the live show. I woke up with a bit of a headache, so I'm not like feeling 100%. I'm feeling probably close to 80%. So keep that in mind. I did the Grimerica podcast last night. I hung out with those guys late night. They're on Pacific time. And so I joined their podcast at 10 p.m. Eastern time. We talked for about an hour and a half about UFOs and humanoid encounters, and I had just a wonderful time talking to Graham and Darren about this stuff. And Darren, he kind of plays the role of Joe over there. He thinks it's kind of BS. Like he understands the phenomenon, but like when it comes to the most recent revelations about UFOs, and he thinks it's kind of BS and it's kind of cover for super secret military projects. But I discovered the humanoid encounters with humanoids that assault people with a black box, and it's a black box device, and you can check it out. Go to Grimerica. I think they streamed it live to Rumble, and you can check it out on your podcast feeds, I guess. So.
I would, but Rumble's still buffering.
It is?
No, I mean from last night. It takes that long.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, yeah, they have problems. There's no doubt about that. It is Wednesday, so let's see what we have in the fun bag of Alex Jones. The Alex Jones grab bag of fun. Let's see. So
I'm not comfortable with you referring to people as a fun bag.
well, I didn't refer to him as a fun bag. I refer to the clips that Gitz procures as he throws them in a bag full of audio, and we reach in there, and it's just a fun time. So obviously last week, Thursday and Friday, holidays, there was rebroadcast. So that brings us to Monday. Here we go.
It's crap.
Oh, my God.
Sorry, go ahead.
Hold on a second. It's coming out of one ear. I don't know why. Sometimes
Some crimes go slipping through the cracks.
the audio from Slack will be mono or stereo. It makes no difference. Like there's no rhyme or reason to it. So I got to fix it on the fly. So here we go.
It's just putting your Johnson right on the table. I mean, it is in our face. There has been major skullduggery and hanky-panky going on.
Major skullduggery.
And hanky-panky.
You can't have one without the other, really.
That's right. Those two often are found in close relation with one another.
That's it. That's just a short little montage from Monday. Here is Tuesday. He had a note in here. It's short. He went to rebroadcast about 1.5 hours into the show.
Well, he quit the show.
Wow.
That's it. I'm done today.
Wow, he did.
I'll quit today.
He did on Tuesday. But
And I did.
Here we go.
Hemophiliacs are a burden on society. Let's go to the clip. It's clip SB2. Told you guys about it. This is it. It's going down. It's happening.
Wow, okay.
It's another one for your It's All Happening.
It's a variation. I will take it. I will definitely take it. It's going down. It's all happening. And then we have Wednesday. This looks like a long one. It looks like Gets put all of his effort into this montage from Wednesday. Here we go.
Al Gore had landed somewhere for an event, and they were carrying a refrigerator out of the private jet, a little refrigerator, and it fell down the steps of the plane, and there were all these bags of blood in it. Oh, the momos are bad, too. They fought. It's so bad. I know Merriam-Webster Dictionary has not accepted that as a new word, but it is a word. I think it would really be illustrating. I think it would be very good to do this. I think your Skype's back. Start over. I'm going to take calls. When the caller calls in, I go, "You're pathetic and we commit suicide." I'm saying Trump's the Antichrist. It's time to pull out the daggers. Time to drink the blood. Look at that. That's a vampire bat. Can we superimpose his face over vampire bat, please? The clip is not working. Well, let's re-download it. Skip the break coming up. Re-download that for me. We're going to reconnect. This happens. The miracle of Skype and Zoom is great, but once a feed gets bad, it's bad. You did it, and we all know it, chump.
There we go.
I like how he's now asking his staff to not just find an image or something, but go in and modify that for him real quick.
Yeah, on the fly. He has a lot of technical problems over there, and he's complaining constantly.
We only have $500,000 computers, not $10 million ones like Fox News and people.
Yeah.
Computers broke.
Computers broke. That's right. Oh, boy. A lot of stuff in the news. I woke up this morning.
You went right back to bed?
I wish I could have. No, I only had about 4 hours of sleep last night, but I woke up and I had this urge to find out more about the movie Caddyshack 2 for whatever reason. And
starring Mrs. Esterhaus?
Starring Mrs. Esterhaus, that's right. I went on YouTube and I tried to find a great documentary about Caddyshack 2. There is no good behind-the-scenes documentary about Caddyshack 2 out there. I can't find it. If anybody knows of one, I would love to see it.
Wait. Are you saying there's one in particular you're looking for, or you would like to find one in general because there isn't a good one?
I would like to find one in general because I haven't been able to find one. And I looked for many minutes looking for something related to Caddyshack 2 documentary. Now, there are a few reviews on the movie, but they're of low quality. I need something top tier. I need big time budget production on Caddyshack 2. Starring Jackie Mason.
Well, yeah, Jackie Mason and Dan Aykroyd trying to do his best Bill Murray impression. But I don't know if anyone involved with that film wants a documentary made.
Yeah, of course they do.
Mrs. Esterhaus.
It was a bit of a stinkeroo. I liked them. I saw the movie at the drive-in movie theaters, and for whatever reason, I just probably saw it at the right time in my early life, and it stuck with me, especially because of Randy Quaid's performance as out of his deranged lawyer. You got Jonathan Silverman, who is he was in his prime at that point. That was his movie before Weekend at Bernie's.
Did that dude ever have a prime?
Yeah, Weekend at Bernie's. Weekend at Bernie's is Prime Silverman.
Prime Silverman.
Yeah.
Hashtag Prime Silverman.
And
Peak Silverman.
And then you have Jackie Mason, who basically
who attempted to commit suicide with a giant hairdryer.
Good morning, Mrs. Esterhaus.
He essentially played the role of Rodney Dangerfield's character.
They basically took cookie cutter versions of the characters from the first film and dropped in replacements.
They had to beg Chevy Chase to come back.
I was going to say, dang it, you ruined my gag. I was going to say they even found a really good Chevy Chase impersonator to play Chevy Chase.
Well, he didn't want to be there. You could tell.
Clearly not.
He made essentially 2 cameos throughout the movie. I don't know how much they must have paid him to come back, but he was flying high. He was his own movie star, and he didn't really need that. Bill Murray didn't come back. They said Harold Ramis wrote some of it, but Harold Ramis didn't want anything to do with the movie, and so it was kind of a mess. And here I am talking about it. And if there's no behind the scenes, really hardcore dissection of the movie, what I'm saying, there's a niche in the market for this right now, and I think over Christmas, I think I might have to put everything on hold and just focus on my Caddyshack 2 documentary to fill the need.
On your 30-year project, your passion project to do a Caddyshack 2 documentary.
I'm going to tell work.
But here's the thing:
I got to take a sabbatical.
You got to do one that's longer than the original film. That's the trick.
Well, of course I will. I'll tell work I have to take a sabbatical to do this documentary.
To deal with some personal issues.
Until I can finish this Caddyshack 2 documentary. Maybe I can do a Kickstarter. I can get this out there in Kickstarter and get some financial backing to do this.
You could probably get somebody because you need to get 1 or 2 of the people who are in it to appear in the documentary.
I'm really surprised, Red Letter Media hasn't reviewed it.
Really?
Maybe they have.
Part of their what's the series they do where they look back at old films?
Review.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, I'm surprised they haven't delved into this one because they dig into some.
Did you tweet at them and yell and say, "Why haven't you done this?
No,
if you don't, I will."
No, no, because if they do it, then I don't have to do it, and then they're going to fill the niche in the market. I want the niche in the market for myself. I'm not going to tell them to do it because then no one will watch my documentary. They'll watch them. When people go searching online for Caddyshack 2 documentary, mine's going to come up.
I guess I'm confused as to what your end game here is. Do you want the documentary or do you want to create the documentary?
I want to make it. If no one else is going to make it, I'm going to do it. I'll do my best.
I believe they refer to that as a fool's errand, but hey, why not?
All right. Well, let's talk about some other stuff. We'll move on here.
Well, I was going to say there is a good documentary floating around about RoboCop that I can't remember the name of right now, but that's, again, longer than the original film.
I would watch it. What's it called?
I don't know. I'm looking for RoboCop documentary, but
this seems pretty.
It just came out in September or something.
I love I love behind the scenes stuff of movies, how they're made. I love behind the music. I love music documentaries about bands and all that kind of stuff. I just I think the movie deserves its own kind of behind the scenes thing.
It is called RoboDoc.
Really?
Yes, it is.
Holy crap! All right.
But there's
why'd they call it "Where's the bullets for my gun, man"?
Where's the bullets for this gun, man?
Yeah, why didn't they do that?
Wasn't that technically from RoboCop 2?
Yeah, it is, but still, it's still RoboCop. It's still part of the entire movie franchise.
Yeah, but you can't name the documentary about a different film based on a line from another film.
Why? Well,
why not just call it "I'll Be Back" and have a picture of Arnold on the cover? Robo-Doc. See if I can find a trailer for it.
I bet you think you're pretty smart, huh?
Yeah, here you go. Here's the official trailer if you want that. I don't know.
Well, maybe if we got time at the end of the show.
Sure, it's only a
fine.
glitch.
Don't keep it in the news channel, not in the precious carrot shop.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about UFOs for a little bit here.
What is this shit?
Yeah, I'm sure everyone's asking that to themselves. Like, hey, I showed up to hear you guys talk about UFOs and disclosure, and you guys talk about Caddyshack 2 for 10 minutes.
30 minutes on Caddyshack 2.
I was telling my wife about my obsession with Caddyshack 2, and she just looked at me like I'm a deranged lunatic. Like, who gives a crap about Caddyshack 2? And I was like, I do. That's a great soundtrack. Kenny Loggins, fantastic.
He was on the first one. They're just repurposing.
I know, but he wrote the song "Nobody's Fool." It's a great song. It's got that 80s sound that we all love, and it's Kenny Loggins. He's got that sweet voice.
I bet you could get Kenny Loggins to appear in your documentary.
I bet I bet if we could dive deep into what he was thinking about when he wrote the song.
What was his process for creating that song? Did he go golfing for inspiration and spend some time around the clubhouse looking for any sort of shenanigans or chicanery?
And furthermore, how much did they pay you? That's what I really want to know. How much did they cost to get Kenny Loggins to come back and write a song?
That was his question. You want peak Loggins, or do you want, like, I'm going to phone it in Loggins? Because you better add zeros to that paycheck.
Look, I need money.
Okay. UFOs. Sorry, people. There's been a lot of news on UFOs. Like the past few days have just been kind of crazy. Really kind of crazy. With the Joe Rogan interview after that, Joe Rogan interviewing David Grush, and then over the weekend and into Monday, Congress getting involved with the Senate bill, and like it's going to committee, and the Senate's involved. They're trying to agree upon a new spending package for the military, and they're trying to shove in this new UAP transparency legislation that's caused a whole kerfuffle, and it's not going very well for the UFO transparency people when it comes to bills being passed. But Tucker Carlson, he is out there talking about it. It seems like the topic of UFO disclosure has officially gone mainstream. And I got some clips from the most recent Tucker interview he did with Rep. Tim Burchett. Not bullshit, I think Burchett. And it's pretty fascinating. Tucker's flat out saying there is UFO technology and our government has it. Now I have just some audio clips. I'll bring open the video so you can see it, but it's not going to be synced up. So just keep that in mind. It's just basically placeholder for Tucker. So you can look at Tucker while you hear clips. Okay, here we go. So here's the first one I got.
And yes, the U.S. government currently has physical evidence that they exist. That means wreckage of the craft as well as the bodies of the beings that flew them. Amazingly, all of this is true. We know that from the detailed testimony, much of it under oath, from several high-level whistleblowers, including longtime intel officers Lou Elizondo and Dave Grush, both of whom we've talked to. But there have been many, about 10 so far. So the question is, now that the UAP Disclosure Act has passed, when can the rest of us see the information that we paid for and in fact own? Well, not so fast, it turns out. One of the great secrets of Washington, known to everyone inside Washington, is that many of the most powerful members of Congress do not work for their constituents, much less for the rest of us, for the country at large. They are instead puppets of the most secretive federal agencies. They are controlled effectively by the permanent bureaucracy, including through bribery and blackmail. Two such members happen to be especially powerful this term. They are Congressman Mike Rogers of Alabama, who is the chairman of the House Armed Services Committee, and Congressman Mike Turner of Ohio, who is chairman of the House Intel Committee. Both of these men have been instructed to violate, in letter and in spirit, federal law, and to hide the truth about UFOs from the American public.
What is coming out over and over again, even from people sitting within the Senate and the United States House of Representatives is that they are not in control. When they try to pass something that rubs up against the Pentagon, the military-industrial complex, the defense contractors, they are flat out being told, you can't do what you want to do. Even intelligence agencies coming in and doing things. And to have now people probably on both sides of the aisle, not so much mainstream news, but it's getting there, basically say that, well, you're not really in control is quite extraordinary. So Tucker has some questions. Here are two questions that Tucker has in regards to the UFO topic.
Federal agencies have been lying about UFOs for more than 80 years. This has been a coordinated effort. It is both highly time-consuming and very expensive. Many Americans have been hurt in the process. But why? What's the point of this? Wouldn't it be a lot easier just to release the facts? Now, the conventional explanation for why they haven't been released is that the U.S. government is lying about UFOs because the truth about UFOs is too scary to reveal, that they're real, and our leaders wouldn't want to panic the population. But that's not true. In fact, it's ridiculous. Wouldn't want to terrify the population? Terrifying the population is what our government does best and most avidly. Officials regularly gin up irrational fears about COVID or white supremacy or Vladimir Putin or a dozen other topics as part of a pretty obvious control strategy. It's not like these people mind it scaring you. They want to scare you, and they do it every day. So why would they lie about UFOs? Well, because they're covering up a crime, obviously, and it's their crime. Someday we'll discover what that crime is. But in the meantime, here are a few questions that honest lawmakers ought to be asking. Have government agencies used tax dollars to procure advanced non-human technology? If they have, where exactly is that technology now? Has it been used for profit? How exactly has the American public benefited from that technology? And then this question, the most pressing of all. Has the U.S. government communicated directly with the beings that piloted these craft? Have American officials ever entered into any sort of agreement with them? And if so, what are the terms of that agreement?
So Tucker's got a huge platform to be saying this kind of flat out, kind of like when he was on Fox News and accused the CIA of assassinating JFK on Fox News. So he's got a huge platform, and he's not afraid to just kind of put it out there. Now, whether or not the U.S. military and Pentagon and defense contractors actually have UFO technology, I don't know. But they seem to be, it seems to be, if there wasn't really something there, there wouldn't be as much pushback. But there seems to be. And here is Tim Burchett, Rep. Tim Burchett, talking about the bill that they tried to get passed and what the result of that was.
And I was told by leadership that it was blocked by the intelligence community, not the intelligence committee, but the intelligence community. And that is a very chilling effect. If someone can reach through the veil of government and pierce it to the point of we do not have access to something, you got to start asking yourself who the hell's in control. And I think it'd be wise for you all to start looking at some financial disclosures of some of those corporations, some of the people who do the stonewalling in this town. I want you to think about this. Think about this, that something with the capabilities of traveling light years, not showing a heat signature, and the energy capabilities of that would put the Pentagon out of business. We wouldn't be fighting these worthless wars overseas over oil, and American boys and girls wouldn't be dying. It would put the war pigs out of business, and they'd have to go somewhere else, and I'm all for that.
It's interesting to finally hear like people in Congress wonder who's really in charge, and coming to the same conclusion that a lot of us have already kind of made, that it's the intelligence agencies and defense contractors, that they're the ones that are really running the show when it comes to this stuff and probably a lot of other issues. He did go on the Tucker show, and they talked about the Pentagon audit, how the Pentagon failed its audit again to the tune of about $3 trillion in assets they couldn't account for. Where's that money? Where are those items? They don't know. But hey, we're going to keep giving them about $1 trillion a year, but Lord knows where all the money goes. They just don't know. And then
goes to Ukraine. Oh, wait,
partially
no, it gets intercepted on the way.
Probably partially goes there.
Okay, I need money.
But to black ops, black programs, special access programs. Then Representative Tim Burchett said that there are a few other witnesses that he has personally talked to regarding the issue of UFOs and crashes, but they refuse to go on the record in front of Congress under oath because they fear for their lives. So simultaneously, as they were trying to get this additional bill pushed through attached to the NDAA, another story was breaking. And this was all over Twitter. It was really hyped up. And it's a bit more salacious. This comes from like unnamed whistleblowers. But here's the headline here. This comes from the Daily Mail. CIA's secret office has conducted UFO retrieval missions on at least 9 crash sites around the world, whistleblowers reveal. So this is a pretty intense claim that the CIA is basically the portfolio manager of these crash retrieval operations. They kind of orchestrate it. They use military personnel to actually do the hard work. The CIA then takes possession in a limited way of the material and then doles it out to defense contractors to reverse engineer or to play with. Who knows? We don't know what they do with it. But this came out and this went all around. So I'll just read a little bit from this. A secretive CIA office has been coordinating the retrieval of crashed UFOs around the world for decades, multiple sources told the Daily Mail. One source said at least 9 apparent non-human craft have been recovered by the U.S. government, some wreckage from a crash, and 2 completely intact. So 2 craft had just landed down, left there completely intact. 3 sources briefed.
Well, they waited for the occupants to leave for a minute and they ran over and took it. Hide in the bushes.
Okay, so hypothetically, these craft are real. They're landing down. Now, I believe that they are, but let's just say hypothetically, they're landing down and they're intact. At that point, they want us to have them. Because even like in war, if we're using like top secret technology, like the B-2 bomber, like with the stealth stuff, like if that crashes, we go back in and bomb that shit so the enemy doesn't get their hands on it, right?
Or use some sort of destruct protocol for it, yes.
Yeah. So I would imagine if the aliens are smart enough to get here, whatever they are, non-human biologics, if they're smart enough to build these machines and they don't include some sort of self-destruct mechanism, then they want us to have this technology. They want, it's being fed to us in some way, and they're saying, "Good luck, try to figure it out."
Well, that's a possibility. What about the other possibility? Go think a War of the Worlds scenario where the equipment itself is operable, but the non-human biologics die due to exposure to various diseases, bacteria, whatever it may be.
Yeah, that's possible too.
Or, again, they land in the wrong part of town and they get carjacked.
That's, you got to be careful. They probably are not terribly familiar with the neighborhoods in some of our cities. So be careful.
They keep landing on the south side of Chicago. It's weird. Those bodies end up in the river. We don't know what happened to them, but check out this UFO I just got.
3 sources who spoke on condition of anonymity to avoid reprisals have all been briefed by individuals involved in those alleged UFO retrieval missions. Now, I suspect, hypothetically, the CIA is the point man in this operation. Now these people are leaking this information to the Daily Mail, 3 of them. If, what I read a few months ago in the episode, that they can track your computer movement and tie it to you with 14 clicks of your mouse. They know exactly who you are. You're telling me that the CIA doesn't know that these people have an inkling to leak, and that they were talking to other people to leak this very, very top secret information, I don't buy it. Like if these leakers are legitimate, that these people were put up to it, or the CIA let it happen. They let it happen.
Well, and it could be a controlled leak too. Just
yes.
to kind of see what those what the information pathways are, how the information is getting out, who's coming up with it, what's coming out at the other end, etc. So,
though the shocking claims sound very likely to come from a science fiction novel, they are part of a growing body of evidence suggesting the U.S. government could indeed be hiding advanced vehicles that were not made by humans. And they go on here a little bit. So the same month, Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer sponsored an extraordinary bill to allow disclosure of recovered technologies of unknown origin and biological evidence of non-human intelligence, which has now passed in the Senate. Sources who spoke to the Daily Mail shed light on how the CIA has allegedly coordinated the secret recovery and storage of these alleged crashed and landed UFOs. Quote, there's at least 9 vehicles. There were different circumstances for different ones. One source briefed the UFO program insiders told the dailymail.com. It has to do with the physical condition they are in. If it crashes, there's a lot of damage done. Others, 2 of them, are completely intact. The sources said the CIA has a system in place that can discern UFOs while they're still cloaked, and that if the non-human craft land, crash, or are brought down to Earth, special military units are sent to try to salvage the wreckage. Another source with knowledge of the OGA's role said that they are specialized in allowing the U.S. military to secretly access areas around the world where they would usually be denied, for example, behind enemy lines. They're basically a facilitator for people to get in and out of countries, the source said. They're very clever at being able to get anywhere in the world they want to. Yeah, it's the CIA. This is what they do.
Just from a logic standpoint, from a logistic standpoint, it makes sense to involve the CIA. That's their job, is to operate officially or unofficially in other countries to get to know how to get things in and out of there, how to get around. They get to know the local fixers, all that stuff. So, hey, you got a UFO detection, or we detect a UFO crashing in, I don't know, Slovakia. They're going to know exactly how to get stuff in and out of there and who to contact.
Exactly. These are the guys, these are the people that could do it. And I want to believe, this is very naive of me to say, but I want to believe that the CIA is working for the United States' best interest. Sometimes that is very difficult to believe with how secret they are and some of the shenanigans that they have pulled. But I want to believe that, like 20% of me. But then the other
20%,
the 80% of me is like, no, they pull some real BS out there, and it's hard to, reconcile the other 20% of me that wants to believe that. So the OGA, well, I forget what that stood for. I think they said it. I think it was the Office of Global Operations, maybe? Global
Office of Government Assistance, a.k.a. food stamps.
No, it's OGA's Office of Global Acquisition, maybe? I'll have to take a look at that. Let's just let's look it up right now. Let's look up OGA, CIA.
Office of Global Affairs.
Global Affairs? Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. The Office of Global. It says a Global Access.
How many OGAs are there? What the hell?
It says the Office of Global Access, which would make sense. And they.
What's the Office of Global Affairs under Health and Human Services and the Treasury Department?
There's a job opening for paramilitary operations officer in the CIA if you want it.
Hey, there you go. Really?
Yes, there is.
Bring that one up.
You want to see? Okay, let's take a look at this job offering.
Does it say anything about breaking into Morocco and stealing crashed UFOs?
Okay, so here's the starting salary ranges from $73,000 to $120,000 a year. Higher starting salaries possible depending on experience level. I have a lot of experience in UFOs and crashes.
Yeah, if you come in with photos of how many UFOs you've recovered from foreign nations without them knowing, they'll be like, you know what, Mike, you're worth $350,000.
They want a bachelor's degree, which I do have. Bachelor's of the Fine Arts. That's good enough. And foreign language bonus skills. obviously, they probably heard me speak Dutch fluently on the show. So
Get that guy.
the agency-wide requirements: U.S. citizen, must be at least 18 years of age. I think we can pull that off. I don't think there's any problem there.
Do they get many 17-year-olds applying? Seriously, if they had to put that in there.
I don't know. I would doubt it, but you never know.
I'm 27.
Willing to move to Washington, D.C., able to complete...
Well, that's a deal breaker there.
Able to complete security and medical evaluations. Yeah, probably. Registered for the Selective Service. Yes, I'm required. Every male is required to register when you
on
turn
your
18.
18th birthday.
Yeah, it's
that's
just the way it is. So about the job. So what about this job? As a paramilitary operations officer for the CIA, you will join a select cadre that is motivated by camaraderie and selfless service. The officer leads and manages covert action programs at the direction of the President of the United States and collect foreign intelligence vital to national security policymakers. As an action and result-oriented professional, you will take on demanding responsibilities, accept significant personal risk, and maintain accountability for results. The officer serves as a distinct occupation in the Directorate of Operations using their military experience. And I have the military experience. I played a lot of Command and Conquer growing up. Using their military experience to conduct air, ground, and maritime paramilitary operations, covert actions, as well as intelligence collection in Austria and dangerous environments. You are expected to be leaders and program managers running paramilitary intelligence operations in the field. I got to say, the salary seems a little low for all that. Any hazard pay?
They want to know how serious you are. They're going to start by with a low offering to weed out those who really aren't serious about it.
As part of the program, some officers will be expected to operate a motor vehicle without secondary party assistance in daytime and nighttime conditions. I can do that.
Wait. Go back and reread that part.
You have to operate a motor vehicle without second party assistance in daytime and nighttime conditions.
What does operating a motor vehicle with secondary assistance mean?
You're driving with your mom or something like that. I have my learner's permit.
I only steer. You work the pedals.
I have my learner's permit. Is that good enough to get into the CIA?
So those people who aren't just barely 18 and they apply anyway?
Yes.
You also have to traverse...
My dad has to come with me when we drive.
We're doing this paramilitary operation, Dad.
Some guy's dad behind him, like parachuting out of the plane.
You have to be able to traverse uneven terrain. That includes climbing and descending staircases over fixed minimum distance in varying weather conditions. I can do that. I live on the homestead. I have multiple stairs in my house. And
that would be the question asked, like, I got a quick question for you. Yeah, this all looks good. How many stairs are we talking about here? Because I got to tell you.
I do have a maximum.
I've got a limit.
I got a quota that I can't max out on.
I got this app on my watch, and it tells me how many stairs I've climbed, and I don't like to go over that.
You have to be able to work a non-traditional and erratic schedule. So
yes,
I'm a creature of routine. So if we can't do the operations between 5 a.m. and 2 p.m., I'm out. I got to say,
I'm no good to anybody before 10 a.m.
Yeah,
and I'm honestly, look, by about 3:30, I am just done for the day. So.
Can we wrap up this assassination? Because I really got to get home to let the goats out.
I got a dog waiting for me, and I'm pretty sure I left the garage door open. So.
And then the last one: make reasoned decisions under time constraints. Probably.
They don't say how much time though.
No.
If afforded time, I will take it to make decisions, and I will tell them that.
Mike, we need to know by tomorrow. I'll think about it.
I wonder if I applied, if they would seriously consider me, considering my cybersecurity background.
I'm not sure I'd want to apply. You're going to end up on a list.
Oh, yeah. I mean, just by looking at this, I'm going to wind up on a list. So
probably.
Yeah.
Just by me being on the same stream as you looking on this, there's now a guy with a blue windbreaker out and like looking through my trash can.
Yeah, everyone who's downloaded this podcast and has listened to this part, you're on a list.
Yes.
And to that guy listening to this on Thursday morning on the way to work, stopping at this point in the episode's too late. They already know who you are.
So back to this CIA UFO crash retrieval story. So the task at hand is simple: to get it into custody and protect the secrecy of it in regards to the crashed UFO. The actual physical retrieval is by the military. It is not kept under military control because they have to keep too many records. So they start moving it out fairly quickly into private hands. Yeah, so FOIA requests do not work on private businesses. And if the military holds on to it too long, there's records. This kind of goes back to the book The Day After Roswell by Colonel Philip Corso, and he was part of the Pentagon research and development sector, and he was given like a box full of like UFO junk, like a bunch of knickknacks and doohickeys from a UFO crash, and he was tasked with figuring out what to do with it. So he contacted like people like DuPont. He's like, here is a piece of alien tinfoil. What can you do with it? Here is some other stuff. And he was in the business of trying to jumpstart industry with this technology and make it seem as the
BASF made their money.
Yeah. Documents published by the National Archives and Records Administration in December of 2016 showed that the OGA was one of 56 offices in the CIA, with its chief and deputy making up two of the total 268 director-level officials in the spy agency. Okay. So it's pretty important, I guess. They got two. An unclassified organizational chart published by the CIA in October of 2015 lists the OGA among 9 officers in the science and technology wing of the agency. Does that make sense? Okay. So they're the point man on retrieving technology. I guess you'd want them to also be part of science and technology division. Okay.
Well, traditionally, what they're referring to there, traditionally the CIA was separated into 3 groups. There was operations, intelligence, and then science, technology, or S&T. So, one was like the Q branch making weird gadgets. The intelligence guys sat at computers and looked at maps and told you where, they look at satellite photos and things and tell you how many people were at some given camp somewhere. And the operations guys are the ones hiding in the bushes.
I want to do the second one, look at maps.
Well, then you want to be in intelligence.
Okay. I want to do that then.
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't be good in the field. I twisted my ankle the other day, and
I can only do so many steps in a day.
Yeah, I'm maxed out. I'm only supposed to do 10,000 steps a day,
and I can't drive at night unless my dad's in the car.
I get that nighttime light. It really blurs off my glasses and it's streaking. It's hard to see.
Look,
sometimes.
I can't see well at night. I don't like steps. I'm no good before 10 a.m. I'm going to need most Mondays and Fridays off. Yeah, sometimes Thursdays.
I'm going to need my Wednesdays and Saturdays for you to do my podcast about you.
just go in there and start listing all the things that all the deficiencies you have with the position, but finish with. But other than that,
sounds good.
I think I'm a great match for this position.
Sounds perfect for me.
By the way, I do like the idea of show art of a guy trying to start a UFO and his dad's in the back seat.
Like he's trying to start up like a lawnmower?
No, but I mean, like he's trying to drive the UFO, but his dad's got to be there.
Because he doesn't have a license.
He has one of those. Well, Ohio has those licenses. That's the like the tiered license. You get the license if you're under 21 or something. So there's like the provisional license or whatever. So
he's only got if you're under 21, they give you like a vertical license,
the training wheel license. Yeah.
So they know you can't buy booze. Don't worry, CIA. I can buy booze.
I know where to get beer, man.
Don't worry about that time I got arrested. That was no big deal. So continue on here. Late CIA expert Jeffrey Richardson wrote in a 2016 book on the agency that the OGA was established in 2003 and cited a CIA description that it integrates analysis technology and tradecraft to attack the most difficult targets and to provide worldwide collection capabilities. Very interesting. And here's a picture, I think, of the director of this agency up on screen right now. Yeah.
Look at that guy.
He looks like a guy who would work for the CIA. I could be his friend. We could be buddies. So
don't trust that dude's smile.
So in a 255-word biography of former OGA Deputy Director Doug Wolf, published by the Aerospace Conference in 2017, says that he helped start the Office of Global Access. Wolf's bio cryptically adds that he was responsible for leading and managing strategic unaware access programs that deliver intelligence from the most challenging denied areas, and served as a program manager with responsibility for the end-to-end system acquisition of an innovative new source and method for the IC, intelligence community. Sounds like a job perfect for me. Two sources told the Daily Mail that the OGA coordinates with the Special Operations Forces, such as SEAL teams and Delta Force, under the Pentagon's Joint Special Operations Command, or JSOC, for nuclear weapons experts, such as nuclear emergency support teams, to collect the crashed or landed craft. Because I guess since these things do emit radiation, they're classified. They're like under some regulation, like the UFO craft. They emit radiation, so the Atomic Energy Commission formerly was the place to bury all this stuff, and so they're working in conjunction with the Pentagon and CIA at this point. So
the Atomic Energy Commission hasn't existed for decades.
I know. Well, not since the 50s.
Right.
But
So
that's where they used to put all the UFO stuff as.
Okay.
That's where. So back in the 50s, they used to pile everything underneath that to keep it secret. And this was all kind of explained in the book Area 51, where the author dove deep into the Atomic Energy Commission's role in covering up a lot of UFO related incidents, and they just kind of piled it all under there, and so they were kind of grandfathered into this situation. And now you have the CIA and the Department of Energy and the Pentagon working in conjunction to funnel this crashed UFO technology to private industry. It goes on to say, the Department of Energy's national labs are material analysis contractors whenever recovered radioisotopes are involved, but not always just isotopic material. The aerospace defense industry are also contractors that specifically do not handle any recovered radioisotopes, but they handle the other non-radioactive material and intact craft. So there you go. So this is a pretty lengthy article, an extremely lengthy article, and I'll end it here. I'd like to read like the last few paragraphs here. So like the Missouri Republican Congressman Eric Burrowson, part of the informal caucus of lawmakers campaigning for greater transparency on UFOs, told the Daily Mail that the source's claims gave him and his colleagues a lead to follow in their investigations. These are the kind of specific programs where we have been trying to get names of. It's been difficult because we can't get can't get that information with specifics from David Grush or from the Intelligence Community Inspector General. I can't confirm it's true, but it certainly gives us a trail to follow. I think that if it does exist, even if they give us no information beyond that, I think we owe it to the world to disclose that. There you go. So they're learning. So apparently, Congress is learning stuff from the Daily Mail.
That's right.
That's where I learned stuff,
and we just learned a lot from it. Now, since this came out, our buddy over there, Cuomo. You know our what's that guy? Chris Cuomo.
The guy who got canned from CNN?
No. Yeah, the guy who got canned from CNN and said that he has seen the light and doesn't want to do CNN kind of stuff anymore because he's seen the light and he was just being used. But
that's the standard.
Yeah, after you get fired, that's what you say.
You can't fire me. I quit. They didn't fire me. I quit before they could fire me.
So he had on journalist Russ Coulhart to talk about this, and Representative Tim Burchett to talk about this. So here's, I got two clips from this. Here we go. I'll bring it up on screen so we can all see their beautiful faces.
Recent reports that, yes, government agencies, at least including the CIA, have specific programs and manpower to deal with things that are in the air that they can't identify, want collected and studied.
Absolutely, Chris. Firstly, good evening. And g'day, Tim. What I can tell you is the Office of Global Access is the office in the CIA that has been coordinating this. They have been doing crash retrievals for many years. One of the things that I do take issue with in the Daily Mail story today is that they say there's just 9 craft that have been recovered. My understanding is that there are considerably more. And as the article accurately reports, this is done in collaboration with JSOC, the Joint Special Operations Command, notably with special forces drawn primarily from the US Air Force. So yes, the article is accurate, and I've got it also confirmed independently by multiple senior intelligence sources.
Congressman Burchett, what'd they do? They cut off the heat down there because you're pushing for too many answers?
You Yankees keep it cold up there in Washington, brother. And I just want to say for the record, both y'all speak with funny accents, but I've got a teleprompter underneath me that translates what y'all are saying, so we're good. But hey,
Ross's accent makes him sound more sophisticated.
All right, enough of the tomfoolery right there. So,
what the hell was that all about?
But this is on News Nation, and Cuomo has, for whatever reason, probably clicks, likes, and money, has taken up the mantle of championing the UFO disclosure talk. And they're talking about it not like almost like every day on News Nation. Like they're building this entire news network around UFO disclosure. They're getting like Russ Coulhart's on there continuously. They're getting interviews, and it's getting out into the mainstream. So you have Tucker on one side, you have Cuomo on the other side, and it is becoming part of the mainstream conversation. And they're flat out recusing the CIA of heading up this program of crash retrievals, which is interesting. So here's one last clip from these guys talking about this subject here. Here we go.
And on the Democrat side, you've got Senator Kirsten Gillibrand pushing it as well. And so there's been a bipartisan push for what's called the UAP Disclosure Act. And unfortunately, in the last couple of weeks, it's become clear that there are key Republicans who are now facing objection. They're basically putting objection up to that legislation, and they're trying to block what would be called eminent domain. And I think, as Tim's pointed out repeatedly, if there's nothing to this UAP story, if we really don't have flying saucers hidden in a basement somewhere, why are so many people in the Congress now fighting to stop legislation that would give the American public the answers they seek about what the truth is, about what the government knows about this UAP issue? Because that's what's happening. There's a gag being imposed on legislation that would essentially assert eminent domain. It would confiscate NHI, non-human intelligence technology. And the point that I'm making is the American government really does need to think very long and hard about the implications of what they're doing here, because quite laudably, there are people in Congress who've recognized there is a need for a slow and gradual disclosure for the American public to be prepared for a new reality, that yes, we are not alone, and that yes, we are in possession of non-human technology.
And I'll leave it right there. I think he makes a great point that in this legislation, eminent domain, if there is any of this UFO technology there, well, you got to bring it forth, and it's now a property of the U.S. government or the public at this point. And if it's not there, well, then you have nothing to worry about. This is kind of like the line that the NSA and the surveillance state would use on the American public. Like, yeah, we're listening to all your phone calls and reading your emails, but if you got nothing to hide, you got nothing to worry about. So they're using the same language here, but they don't like it. The intelligence community and the CIA does not like this language in there. No, because they have something. They do. They have something. This is like the most important conspiracy in the past 70 years. This is it. This is the big one here. This is for all the marbles. It really is. They have this technology. And this is the stuff that can change the world. It will change the world if it ever comes to light. But they're talking about slow rollout disclosure. So, Christian, what do you think would happen if the United States government officially, we're talking about the DOD here, we're talking about an official military statement that says, yes, there are UFOs and we have been monitoring them for 70 years. How do you think the public would react? And this would have to come from the White House, too.
At this point, if that's all they said in the announcement, I don't think anyone would give a shit, because that everyone kind of assumes that. And I think a lot of people would say, well, I thought we already announced that. What have all these hearings in Congress have been about? Whereas if they came out and said, there are UFOs and we've got them, and showed one off or showed off something related to it or whatever, that would be of more interest, I think.
I agree.
Because if they came out and simply said, well, here's the radar tapes, here's the crappy footage filmed in 1987 on a VHS tape on the bottom of an F-18, who cares? It doesn't gain us anything.
Well, Richard Dolan, who I respect, I like his work. I read his book called After Disclosure, which thinks through scenarios about the public's reaction to official announcement of ET presence on planet Earth, and how the United States government may do that. What method? Would it be just rip the Band-Aid off, expose everything? Would it be a gradual disclosure? Would it be some kind of benchmark? Like they will release so much information every few months to gradually roll it out in order to acclimate the public. How would the public respond? Well, Richard Dolan came out and said this. This is my last clip, and then I promise we will move on. But here's Richard Dolan talking about disclosure and possible reactions to it.
Leaders. Look at it this way. The U.S. has already lost tremendous credibility vis-a-vis the rest of the world. It's likely that many Americans are unaware of this due to the establishment media bubble that most people live in, both in the legacy media and big tech, but be that as it may. But the revolution of a long-standing lie, the revelation of a long-standing lie of such a magnitude, I really think would deal a major blow to the remaining shreds of American credibility, and I don't see that as an attractive prospect for the American establishment at all. The only way to finesse this, if you were to just say, yeah, it looks like they're not from around here, would be for the military establishment to announce that they've only just now realized that these UAP might be extraterrestrial. It's like, we've just studied it, and we think they actually might be. So essentially to pretend that they were clueless during the whole 20th century. Now, obviously, this is not credible, and no one's going to buy that. So I think this layer of disclosure would probably immediately lead to the next layer, which is that the U.S. military-industrial complex has been studying this phenomena for a long time, let's say 80-odd years. I think that's going to have to be an immediate follow-up from the previous disclosure. Now, as stated, that would expose them to the charge of engaging in a lifetime of lying to the entire world. It would possibly lead immediately to yet another layer of disclosure, because once you start getting into this territory, it becomes very difficult to stop this. And that next layer is what I call the red line of disclosure. And it is the line that states the United States military-industrial complex has acquired alien tech and bodies, or biologics, as we now hear. That's the line. That's the red line of disclosure. It's the ultimate admission of culpability and of lying in all throughout this drama. So naturally, if this happens, we can expect all the explanations, national security, we have to protect the public, we were uncertain about the aliens themselves, and all of that. Okay, sure. There's always explanations. There's always excuses for nearly anything that you can imagine. But how well will these excuses serve the interests of the establishment, and how well will the rest of the world really accept them? Because crossing the red line of disclosure opens many other uncomfortable questions. I've got a few right here. Let's get into them. One, how has UAP secrecy corrupted our political, our academic, and our media institutions? Again.
Well, and he goes through like a bunch more questions here, and I'll link to the entire video in the description of the podcast, and I recommend following him because this guy, he does a great breakdown of the stuff. He's not like all in, he's not all out with the government disclosure of stuff. He takes a very middle of the road. He's very practical in his analysis. Like some of the other questions that he has up, how much does the military industrial complex really know about the entire scenario? Are they in communication with any of these entities? What have been their conclusions about their intentions of these beings? As in, are these beings here right now? And that gets into the questions: are they walking among us? Is the CIA going to say, well, we had to kill Kennedy because he was an alien? You know, they could use that. You know,
I have to do it.
I'm not sure that would really hold any water.
It'd be a tough one to get. I mean, it depends on how you advertise.
He was an alien.
Yeah, it depends on what the PR firm says. But it gets very uncomfortable, and I think it comes to the conclusion that they don't want a disclosure. Like the people at the real top, they don't want to disclose it because it will open up all these uncomfortable scenarios about a history of lying to the United States, and then all the disinformation that they pumped out.
I'm not buying that argument.
Okay.
If they came out and said, yeah, we've known about it for years, but we didn't tell you. Again, I don't think people are going to care. What else has the CIA not told us? Well, that's their freaking jobs. They're spies.
Fair enough. But
I don't think anyone is that naive to be like, what? They're not reporting everything honestly? How dare they?
Well, I think it comes down to whether or not any of this technology was reverse engineered and when, and if it could have been used for the public good in America.
Well, all right, let's go a slightly different direction. Let's say they come out and they say, yeah, we've had crashed craft and whatnot for decades. We've reverse engineered some of it. And for example, that's what led us to some developments in the stealth arena, was based on that sort of material. People are going to be like, oh, okay, that's cool. Because the stealth stuff has been well known to be in development since the mid-'70s. Yes. So it's not groundbreaking. It's not like they have zero gravity tech and they're driving around on hover bikes the entire time and,
we don't know.
Not letting us in on it.
Well, I mean, if that was the case and they have free energy devices or extremely efficient energy devices that could avoid the use of fossil fuels and the oil industry in general and could heat people's houses in this economic crisis, why are you withholding it? And I think that would be quite a PR maneuver to do to justify withholding that these innovations from the public.
Yeah, I could see some of that. If it was technology or something that would be 100% only altruistic to do it, and the only reason they didn't release information like that was because not only would it benefit the United States, but it would benefit, especially from a Cold War attitude, our enemy.
Yeah, but also then they withheld this information about this science and technology, like that would change our understanding of what is possible in this world and reality. And so they purposely handicapped science for 70 years because of national security, which I can see them doing, but they have to explain it to everyone. So that's where we're at. And it's just going to be a debate. It's going to be interesting to see how this rolls out and how NBC and CBS and ABC start to report on this. And if they choose to start reporting on this on a weekly basis, then we're in full-on disclosure mode once those networks are doing it on a weekly basis.
Or if they're reporting on it in a straightforward way, not back to their joking comments about UFOs and little green men and all that crap.
Yeah,
because if they go back to that, then there's something else going on.
Yeah.
Are you worried about UFOs?
I am. That's why I want to join the CIA to capture those buggers.
Go get one. Come on.
Yeah, it is a wacky world, and we're just taking the temperature here. I would guarantee a majority of the people out there do not know this stuff. Like if you just go to Piggly Wiggly's or Kroger's, or your food shopping experience of choice. Not many people in the checkout line.
Try and save.
The try and save a lot, which is where I used to shop.
The food hole.
I used to go to Save a Lot and order. There wasn't a Coke machine out front. There was a Bubba machine out front.
RC Cola.
Yeah, they didn't even have RC Cola. They had Bubba Cola.
Bubba Cola.
So try to find that. Ask someone next to the Bubba Cola machine if they know anything about the UFO disclosure, and they're gonna probably say, "What? No." Try to get myself a Bubba Cola.
Man, I'm here just buying a 45-cent Bubba Cola.
That's what's going on and what's coming down the pipe for everyone. As much as Joe may not like it, this is the real war. This is the real conspiracy right here. Am I right? Yes. No.
They're squiggly wiggly.
They are squiggly wiggly. We'll move on. I got a few more headlines I want to tell people about.
I'm going to go out and buy a house. I'm going to get you an engagement ring, and hopefully you'll think about moving to Minnesota.
That's a very, very specific request.
Well, Hawk likes specific directions. He knows,
Hawk
what he wants.
Yeah,
he knows what he wants. He's happy to order people around and tell them what to do. He's perfect for that CIA paramilitary operations officer job.
Yeah, but he was too polite there. He was requesting, I hope you'll move to Minnesota.
Yeah, you're right.
Would you move to Minnesota so we can get married there the first chance we get?
Don't ask. You tell them.
You're moving.
You're moving to Minnesota, like it or not.
The truck's here.
Yeah.
Pack up.
I want you to come up north next week.
There you go. Well, say you're coming up north next week. Not I want you to. Say you're coming up north next week, like it or not.
I want you to come up north next week.
Here's a headline here that's fun. All right. Whistleblowers. More whistleblowers. Whistleblower reveals U.S. and U.K. military contractors plan for global censorship.
That's some good news on that front.
Yeah, this comes from Exposed News. Yes.
Is it expose or expose?
It could be Expose News. Sure, if you want to talk Latin, we can do that.
I believe it's French, but okay.
So here's the initial quote here. Many people insist. Oh my God, they put up a big pop up. Here we go. Many people insist.
Why is there a big thing of goatsy on the page? What the hell is that? Oh, it's covering the eyes.
It's not goatsy. It's two hands.
That's a terrible illustration.
It's see no evil, hear no evil, or see no evil, speak no evil.
But as you were scrolling up, I'm like, why the hell is there a big
in your
thing
mind went to goatsy? No, it's a political.
That's what it looked like.
All right.
Don't you have isn't that your desktop background?
No, it's not my desktop background.
Oh, it is now.
I can't see.
Now that you're on the CIA's list, they're just going to do that.
Yeah, they probably will.
Make that your background.
Many people insist that governments aren't involved in censorship, but they are, according to Michael Schellenberger, who adds, and now a whistleblower has come forward with an explosive new trove of documents rivaling or exceeding the Twitter files and Facebook files in scale and importance. Schellenberger is just one of three investigators from a group called Public, who have documented the rise of the censorship industrial complex, a network of over 100 governments and government agencies and non-governmental organizations, and have reported on recently published documents from the whistleblower, which describes the activities of a group called the Cyber Threat Intelligence League, or the CTI.
Ooh. I like the Cyber Threat Intelligence League.
Yeah, shouldn't it be CTIL? Almost, you could mix them up. Shouldn't it be the Cyber League Intelligence Threat? So it could be called CLIT?
Jesus. You're supposed to just leave those out there and let other people think about what you're saying.
Yeah.
Don't read the punchlines.
You're right. The activities are everything from the genesis of modern digital censorship programs to the role of the military and intelligence agencies, partnerships with civil society organizations and commercial media, and the use of sock puppet accounts and other offensive techniques. So, okay.
And that throwaway comment there about the work with commercial media is probably the most egregious aspect of this.
The whistleblower is alleged that the leader of the CLIT League a former British intelligence analyst, was in the room at Obama's White House in 2017 when she received instructions to create a counter-disinformation project to stop a repeat of 2016. Wow. Okay.
Wait. She was in the room when Obama was president to stop a... the timeline doesn't add up unless I misheard something.
So
there.
I would assume... Okay, so I'll read it again. A whistleblower alleged that the CTI League, a former British intelligence analyst, was in the room at the Obama White House in 2017 when she received the instructions to create a counter-disinformation project to stop a repeat of 2016. So I'm assuming in the last days of the Obama White House.
They only had 3 weeks there in 2017.
In the last days of the Obama White House, they said, holy crap, Trump got elected. We got to put something together so this doesn't ever happen again.
Well, and isn't this what grew into that nascent and then immediately killed and then I'm sure resurrected under some other department, that Office of Disinformation with the Broadway lady?
Yeah, they said they dismantled it, but it's not. They just reconstituted it under a new name and like new people. So it's still there, I believe. So emails from CISA. So this is like, I'm not going to read this entire thing, but I'll put this in the podcast description. It is very well documented. Regardless, people, it's happening.
It's all here. It's all going down. It's all happening.
Yes. Mm-hmm. They want to control speech online. They do not like the United States Constitution. They want to control what you see, what you say, and how you feel. They want you to become a Borg. They want you to become Borg.
There was just something that came out recently that I can't remember which of the 27,000 cases they've thrown at Trump, but the one with where they wanted to investigate anybody like on Twitter who even was like looking at his posts, so they can go through that and start tracking down people to try to, again, further manipulate public opinion on things.
Yes,
and it's just like this is nefarious from the standpoint of that open collusion with what they call it there, the corporate media, which is just out in the open.
You will be obsolete in the new order.
You will be obsolete in the new order, Critch.
No.
So don't worry about it.
Well, I'm not on the tweeters, so good luck with that.
You will become one with the Borg.
That's what they want. They want everyone.
You will sign up for Twitter.
They want everyone on the big cube, the big Borg cube. They want to control your thoughts. They want you to become a part of the hive mind. You don't got to worry about posting anything or posting things for you. Pre-approved posts. You're going to have a list of pre-approved feelings that you can post online about pre-approved topics.
Today's feelings are?
You can have feelings of apathy. You can have feelings of casual enjoyment about topics such as cats who fall off the couch or commercials that run too long. How do you feel about these two topics?
I'm torn on the commercials.
Yeah, I know. Sometimes
a little long.
And sometimes a little loud. But that's just me. So it's all happening, people. They're going to say it's for your benefit. Just like they have to keep the UFO technology secret for your benefit. Because heaven forbid, you can't pay. You have to be able to pay for your outlandish electrical bill and gas bill to keep yourselves warm and comfortable during the winter. Heaven forbid, it should be free. We'll move on here. I have one more story, then we'll get over to Cretched and see what he's got for us. And this is a bit paranormal, and a bit, I don't know, scientific at the same time. Here, I'll bring this up.
Ghost science?
Kind of, yeah, a little bit. So here's the headline here. Disembodied voices correctly tell London woman she has brain tumor.
But was the tumor telling her that?
Oh, really?
In London, a woman without any previous mental health issues heard voices in her head while reading at home. A voice reassured her, saying not to be afraid and expressing a desire to help. Worried about her sanity, she sought medical assistance.
Psychiatrist,
Mr. I'm not going to pronounce that name.
Steve?
It's not Steve. It
is called mitral.
Dr. Mitral.
Thrombocatopedia?
Yeah, it's
Dr. Tombocatopedia?
Yeah, I think so.
Kawawa.
Dr. Kawawa.
Dr. Kawawa.
Dr. Kawawa documented her case in the British Medical Journal. So born in continental Europe in the mid 1940s. The patient moved to Britain in the late 1960s. After various jobs, she got married, started a family, and became a full-time housewife and mother. Enjoying good health, she rarely visited her general practitioner, and her children were also healthy. Yeah, sounds like how many steps you getting in a day? I get my 10,000. What's she doing? In the winter of 1984, while reading at home, she heard a voice in her head. The voice assured her not to be afraid and claimed to be from the Children's Hospital, Great Ormond Street, with a desire to help. Although she was unfamiliar with the hospital and her children were as well, the voice provided her with 3 pieces of information unknown to her at the time to prove sincerity. Despite the accuracy, she believed that she had gone mad and sought urgent help from her doctor, who referred her to a psychiatrist. The psychiatric clinic, a diagnosis of functional hallucinatory psychosis was made, and she received general counseling and thiazine medication or thyrazine medication. It's probably some hardcore antipsychotic drug. The voices disappeared after a few weeks of treatment, and she went on holiday. However, while abroad and still on medication, the voices returned, urging her to return to England immediately for urgent treatment, now accompanied by delusional beliefs. Back in London, the voices provided her with an address. The computerized, so it's a computerized tomography department of a large hospital. Reluctantly, her husband took her there, hoping to reassure her it was all just in her mind. To her surprise, the voices guided her to request a brain scan, claiming that she had a brain tumor and an inflamed brainstem. And sure enough, the voices were correct. The voices were absolutely correct, and they found a tumor in her brain. They conducted the operation in May of 1984 and involved removing a malignant. I can't pronounce this. This is all medical jargon here. The patient reported that upon regaining consciousness after the surgery, the voices expressed satisfaction and bid her farewell. Isn't that amazing?
But didn't the voice say it was from the hospital?
No, it just gave her directions. Well, yeah, it really did say it was from the hospital, yeah.
Right. So, is it just come on, this is Steve at the county hospital. You need to come in and get treated.
Maybe, yeah.
All right, probably prank caller.
Prank caller. Get out of my head.
Prank caller in my head.
Yeah, can you get prank calls during... If you hear voices in your head, can you one be a prank call?
Yeah.
We can't have cussing.
He wasn't cussing. It was, come on, Alex. He's telling her to go to the doctor.
Yeah.
Your phone's a little muddy. Get up close to that receiver.
Yeah. The voices in my head, I can barely understand you.
Your phone's bad.
Yeah, actually, that's an interesting concept, that you'd have a voice in your head, but it's got a bad connection. AJ's just getting confused. I can't hear what you're saying, voice in my head.
Get up close to that receiver. Yeah, your phone's a little muffled. Just take your hand off the receiver. Skype's an incredible technology, but occasionally it gives us a problem.
Yes, it does. So interesting. So was this some sort of angelic intervention here, or did the tumor press on a part of her brain, allowing her to access her higher self? Like in certain circles in spirituality and metaphysics, like you have you who live here in this reality, but there is a higher self of you that lives in a different dimension that is attached to you. And possibly you can communicate with your higher self through meditation and certain rituals to get information about possibly what you should do with your life. Maybe this is one aspect to get in touch with that. And the higher self in this woman's instance said, hey, I know what's going on with you. Get to the hospital. But she went to the hospital initially to take drugs to drown out those voices. Maybe she should have
Well,
listened.
that was simply the response from the doctors.
Yeah, the
let's
doctor.
drown that out.
Yeah.
We'll turn that off for you.
So incredible story. So
Did she like swallow a cell phone or something?
This is back in the 60s.
She said 1984.
Well, yeah. So back in 1984, she had the operation, but she came to Britain in the 60s.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, she moved to Britain in the 60s.
There were cell phones commonly available in 1984.
Sure, they were.
With those
Don
big
Johnson style.
Yeah, those big brick cell phones. You think she ate one of those?
Maybe she was hungry.
I don't. That's a lot of.
I ate a whole cell phone. Now the hospital's calling me.
All right. So the artwork for the podcast is a father and son driving a UFO while they chow down on cell phones.
While they have a cell phone on a plate. Yeah.
Cell phone in a hamburger bun or something.
Cell phone hamburger.
I guess.
I like it.
All right.
Make Midjourney figure that one out.
Okay. Well, we're going to move over. I'm curious to see what Cretchen has. I've been babbling for too long. Here we go.
Look at this shit.
All right. Oddly enough, everything I have is related to UFOs and people getting cell phones stuck in their heads.
Wow, okay. Coincidentally.
Just weird.
Mm-hmm.
Is that your dog or are you playing a sound effect?
That's my dog.
I don't know.
That's my my dog upstairs. I'm suspecting either barking at a raccoon or my wife. Now, if it persists, I might have to check it out.
What kind of dog is that?
It's a Sheen dog. What other kind of dog would it be?
You said what kind of dog is that? I say it's a Sheen dog. What other kind of dog would it be?
It's still going crazy.
What kind of dog is that?
Boy, there's a lot of barking going on there. I have a problem.
Well, can you hold on 1 second? Let me go see. Maybe
I'll just stand and do nothing.
Yeah, okay. I want to make sure it's not a coyote.
In the house?
Hey, dog.
It's a wily coyote in his house. For those who don't know, Mike has an upstairs dog and a downstairs dog, and the downstairs dog doesn't do anything except need to go outside in the middle of the show. The upstairs dog just barks at things outside.
Sorry.
Was it a raccoon?
Sorry, I'm back. I
Was
should
it
have realized.
a coyote or a raccoon?
It was an Amazon delivery person.
They found the homestead?
They found us. They got us. We're being tracked now.
Yeah. Now they know where we are.
They got us.
Move.
Oh, no. They finally found us. I don't know how they found us, but they found me.
Moved out to the middle of nowhere, and you see an Amazon truck show up. That's the sign. You got to pack everything up.
Yeah, we didn't even order anything. They just found us.
It showed up. We know where you are.
Delivery is here.
Guy shows up, takes a photo of the house, and gives you a card that says, "We know."
They're just dropping off all the packages here. They're using this as a distribution center now.
Here you go. You guys sort this.
Okay.
Oh God. I've got so much news here. I'm going back here. We got a lot of crime news. We got some oddball story news. I'm not sure where we want to start with this. Well, let's see here.
Let's go back in time.
I do have a UFO story if you want to do more UFOs, but
well, I am worried about UFOs. That's for sure.
Well, let me give you the headline. You tell me if you want to do this one. The headline is, which presidents have seen UFOs?
Are you worried about UFOs?
No.
I would say
this is a really long and detailed article. So
I'm sure, but off the top of my head, Jimmy Carter, Andrew Jackson, maybe Hamilton, Taft. Obviously, definitely
William H. Taft, the
McKinley,
the largest president.
Mm-hmm.
William Henry Harrison.
Well, Taft was chowing down on cell phones. That's how he got so big.
Well, famously, there's a story of Eisenhower meeting with aliens at whatever Air Force Base.
Wright Pat.
Air Force Base. Wasn't it Wright Pat? I thought it was like whatever.
I thought it was Wright Pat
in the early 50s. But anyway, so
yeah, maybe.
I don't know. Wouldn't go into that one or not.
No way.
Oh, let's see here. We've got a data breach at a national laboratory by perverts.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it happens. We got a lady hiding in a couch.
Okay, let's no more teasing. Let's bring one open. We got time.
I'm dragging these out. I'm trying to find a good one.
Oh, okay.
Here.
I see.
We got AI generated photos of Leonardo da Vinci, and people are thinking it's real.
Hey, did you see that they did AI image analysis of the moon landing, and the AI determined that those images were fake? I got that article, but I think it was done by Chinese AI, so I don't know if that can be trusted.
I'll try to trust that.
Yeah.
All right, how about this one? Here's a guy. He's trying to be a good dude. He's trying to donate blood. This guy's trying to stay on the up and up, trying to do things for fellow man, and it doesn't work out for him.
Okay. I'm curious to see what happens. I like good people.
I'm going to give you the archive of this one because I'm getting hit with a paywall.
Oh, God.
So take this, paywall.
Here we go. So after Florida man donates a barrel of blood, he needs 1.5 gallons himself.
2.5.
Oh, 2.5 himself. Holy moly.
That's some good news on that front.
Holy moly. He donated too much. They bled him dry. Don't they cut you off after a certain amount?
I don't think it was all at once.
Oh, okay.
In a pool of blood.
Man donates 35 gallons of blood in more than 50 years. Thank you for sharing the story of the steadfast blood donation by Mark Satloff, a retired Philadelphia educator over the last 50 years. I've been donating for a similar period. Are these people just bored? Like they got nothing better to do on a Saturday but go there and get their blood drained?
Some sort of competition.
This is
like more blood than you.
They're simping for vampires. They're some kind of like submissive vampire people. I don't know. But so Stafford had reached over 55 gallons of equivalency in blood and pallet donations. That'd be the size of a standard steel drum.
55-gallon drum.
Yeah.
Yep.
Blood.
When I started sharing my blood, they used to call the donor sites blood banks with the concept of giving now and maybe needing some later. My later came 2 years ago, unfortunately, from donors in Tampa Bay area when I required 2.5 gallons of blood for a major upper GI bleed, which I received and survived. Thank God. Okay, so this guy donated too much, but you know what? Comes around, goes around, and that's blood.
Blood.
He gave, and then when he needed the blood, it was there. The very blood he donated.
The very blood he was trying to donate. So the 2.5 gallons, that's a lot. I think the human body has a little over a gallon of blood in it, the entire thing for a full-grown adult. So that dude was just pumping out blood, and they're like, this is just going right through him.
The doctors didn't know what they were doing. They were using it for everything over there. Like, yeah, 2.5, that's a lot of blood. I think it's like a gallon of milk. So they walked in with 2 gallons of blood in milk jugs. They plopped them down on the operating room table and just started pouring it everywhere, having fun. Because they got tons of it. They only needed a half gallon.
Do you think they like a guy brought in that 55-gallon drum on a hand truck and had his name on it?
It was
there you go,
Steve. It was on a dolly. It came in on a dolly and it was strapped around. Like how much would 55 gallons of blood weigh? That would does it weigh more than water?
I'm not sure the viscosity or density of blood.
Well, how can we find out?
I would say let's ask ChatGPT because it knows everything.
Yeah.
I'll do it manually.
I think I'm going to ask ChatGPT right now. You do the calculations over there using Wolfram Alpha. I'll use...
I'm not using Wolfram Alpha.
I'm using ChatGPT. Come on, log me in. Load it up.
The National Center for Biotechnology Information.
How much does 55 gallons of blood weigh? Okay.
Damn it, this study here, they said, I'm going through the math here, and the first thing it says is this method assumes the density of blood is equivalent to water. That's not helping.
I need to know exactly how much it weighs. So the gallons of blood can be estimated based upon the density of blood. Thank you. So we're looking at 220 kilograms. In pounds, that's 486.2
220 kilograms, that's 450 pounds.
Yeah, they're saying 486 pounds.
Oh, excuse me.
Now, The one thing about ChatGPT nowadays is that it doesn't do a good job with accurate numbers. It doesn't. It's a little loosey-goosey on the number game, and so that is one area of natural language processing that they're trying to improve right now. They're trying to get better numbers, better arithmetic, algebra, calculus put into this. It's great for telling stories and asking about how many penises can you stack to the moon, but when it comes to some of the stuff, sometimes it's off. Like as displayed on this show, like your calculations are vastly different than ChatGPT's, and I'm probably more apt to trust you. I think this is called the Q star. So they're trying. I
think there's a lot of these. So as I'm digging through, I think a lot of these are assuming that blood and water are roughly equivalent.
I don't know.
Which I'm not sure I want to agree with that, because if you assume like a gallon of gallon of water is 8 pounds, right?
Yeah, of course. We all know that.
Blood. Well, isn't that just liquid ounces? Isn't that how it works?
Let me think.
What about 128 ounces, right? 16 ounces to a pound, so it's 8 pounds. Isn't that how it works? I don't know. It's basic math. So that'd be 440 pounds. So that's not too far off, but it said 480, so we're within the ballpark there, I guess.
Maybe 4?
Yeah, okay.
So somewhere between 450 and like 500 pounds of blood. Here you go.
So if you're wheeling 55 gallons of blood into an operating room, that sounds like a two-man operation. It really does.
Two guys, and those guys are union.
Yeah, they're
Teamsters.
Yeah,
where do you want this blood?
Those operations probably happen early morning and maybe on the weekend. They sound like an emergency operation too. So these guys are definitely making some bank on this blood delivery.
Triple hazard pay.
Yeah.
I got to leave my kid's birthday party. I got to deliver some blood.
All right. Well, good for this guy, and I'm glad that he survived to donate more blood.
Do you think he got to keep what they didn't put in him? Like 55 gallons he's donated, they put 2.5 in. Does he get to keep the rest?
Yeah, he paid for it during the operation. They charge you for all that shit. It's itemized, so I want the leftover. Like you don't
Sorry,
get to
man.
keep that.
Once we crack the top on this thing with our giant high C style can opener, you own this, man.
Yeah, they probably throw out a bunch of stuff as declared as medical waste, but I want that shit. Give me the medical waste. I paid for it. I'll take it back with me. Let me deal with it. Don't worry about it. I'll take it.
Give me the gold. Show me the gold.
Yeah,
the gold.
Give me. If you take out a gallbladder, that's mine. I want to take it home. I want to bronze it or something.
All right.
All right, we'll move on. We're going to move on. Here we go.
Bullshit.
All right. How about some shenanigans at Disneyland? We like this.
We do. Disney is. They're in some real trouble. They can't afford to have any more trouble, Cratchit. They have bomb after bomb at the movie theaters. The only hope they have for any kind of financial stability is Disneyland and Disney World.
And this dude is going to single-handedly ruin it for everybody.
Oh, boy. Oh, no. Okay. Well, hopefully this is not what I think it is, but we'll find out. A man who stripped naked on Disneyland ride was on drugs, police say.
That's some good news on that front.
And oh my God! And there's video of him. But I'm gonna have to play the audio because they might be conveying exactly what this person is doing. I guess it's good that he was on drugs. Like you would
hope so.
Yeah, like you're just not doing this.
I mean, they to be fair, they keep it blurred out.
Yeah,
this dude is super
they keep it
high.
family friendly over there.
It's family friendly-ish.
Okay, here we go. Let's see. Let me crank it up.
Yeah, it really is a small world after all. A half-naked man filmed hopping off the popular ride at Disneyland and then walking around barely clothed, sitting in the water. Disneyland workers stopped the ride immediately. Anaheim police responded, this is about 1:30 this afternoon, to help security detain this guy. Officers arrested the 26-year-old man for indecent exposure and for being under the influence of a controlled substance.
neighborhood nuisance.
That's so crazy. I can't believe someone would do that at Disneyland. That's just in front of kids. It's crazy. We went to It's a Small World earlier today, but we didn't hear about it being closed or anything. I don't know why anyone would pay that much money to go into a park and act that way.
How is this person?
Good point. This guy taken to the hospital, they'll say, just as a precaution.
He was
given 55 gallons of blood.
He was, I would say he was well built. Like, he was an in-shape guy.
He was fit.
He was fit. He was thin. No reports on how large his member was. And we only saw footage of him pretty much like in boxer shorts or like swim trunks. So we didn't see any full nudity on this video.
Dude was... Here, I'll give you another link. This dude was fully nude.
This guy was big in charge.
7-foot penis.
This guy was
say that.
Turgid at the park.
This guy was, let's just say he was enjoying his time at It's a Small World. So second link in here has
It's a Small
video.
World. Yeah, streaker arrested. So, okay. Oh, my God. So there is a video of him naked going underneath. It's like, was this Toad's Wild Ride? And he's like in the water. He's underneath the bridge.
No, that's the part that leads into it.
Okay.
I think. I don't know. I haven't been to Disneyland since I was 8 years old.
Okay, the security swarmed for this, but not all the other fights. Like, there's like 25 security here. Where are all these security when all those brawls happen?
This dude should have, what he should have done is...
pick a fight first.
Wait for the fights to break out. And then while everyone's distracted, pants come off immediately.
That's when you go streaking. That's because they're already distracted. I wonder what kind of drugs he was on.
All of them.
I mean...
I'm guessing ecstasy. That's where I would...
Possibly, but it could be acid. This guy may have maybe dropped acid.
He's gonna go trip in
Disneyland.
It's a Small World?
Yeah, something like that. Oh, wouldn't it be cool, man, if we dropped liquid acid and went to Disneyland, man?
Try some liquid MDMA. It's great.
So he probably went with a friend. His friend said, I ain't getting naked. I'm out of here. I'm going to go to Captain EO's Magic Ride with Michael Jackson. And
is that still there?
Of course it is. People love Michael Jackson.
Captain EO.
It is a monument to how powerful Michael Jackson is. Do you think it's not?
I think you overestimate the impact that Captain EO had on the American psyche.
How much time do you think this guy's going to get? 20 years?
They just throw the book at him.
Yeah. Well, of course.
They need to give him the January 6th treatment. Just hold him in jail indefinitely without
solitary
charge.
confinement for 20 years because he exposed himself in front of children, Cretched. So
there are kids there.
He probably will be classified as a sexual predator.
Well, it's Disneyland. I mean, they just have like a whole section for that.
I guess they have a whole Adventureland.
Sir, yeah. You need to go back to sexual predator land.
Here's your ticket. Go in there. Yeah, there's a waiting line, but sure.
I see you have the fast pass. That's a good purchase.
Fast pass to get up to the front. Let me in now, please.
I'm having a sexual emergency. Get me in.
The Anaheim police officers arrived around 1:30 p.m. Sunday. Wow, that's early. That's an early streak. That's a mid-afternoon streak. That's crazy.
This guy was pre-gaming in the parking lot.
And arrested the unidentified man on suspicion of indecent exposure and under the influence of a controlled substance. But they don't say what that substance was.
All of them.
He was brought to the local hospital as a precaution. The ride was able to resume around 3 p.m. So he totally jammed up that line in that ride.
He closed it for 2 hours.
He shut it down. He said, hell with all you. I'm getting naked. All right. So this guy's hopefully going to run for Florida Congress. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's California. Other Disneyland.
Oh, it's California? Oh, I thought it was Florida. Okay.
Yeah. Expect that sort of stuff at Disney World, but not here at Disneyland.
Yeah, this is crazy. Okay. So, yeah, there's a picture of him underneath the bridge. There's either a man or a woman that looks like a man staring at the naked body of this young man who's holding... He's naked, but he's holding his penis. He's covering his penis with his hand. So he's a little bashful. You know, he's a bashful streaker. Maybe when he jumped in the water, he realized the water's really cold, and he had some shrinkage. And
it shrinks?
It does shrink, yeah.
Well, yeah, and you had the in the first video, he had his pants on, so he shucked his pants, and then maybe it was a little too much for him.
I think he had second thoughts, but he committed to it, and then he went under the bridge to hide in shame. He said, "I'm going to do this today.
Can't be out in the daylight.
This is my day to do this." All right, let's move on. Let's see what else you got over there. Come on.
All right. So this is one of those stories that just the headline itself grabs you, and you see this headline float past, and honestly, we just have to talk about this. By the way, credit to our good buddy Herman from Holland for the story about the naked dude at Disneyland. I don't know what sort of Google News search he has running for that one, but
he found it.
Blame Herman for that.
Yeah, he found it. We'll bring this up on screen right here. Wife plans furious protest outside brothel after husband spent $6,000 during steamy 7-hour session that left sex workers so tired they couldn't go on.
Man, I got mixed emotions about this.
Wow, this guy just destroyed an entire brothel. Bam, next one. Boom, next one. Bam, next one.
It's just, like I said, this headline itself, it's just like, wait, what?
Wow. Who's pictured here is Susan Pfeiffer, owner of the Pentagon Grand Brothel on the Gold Coast. A furious wife is planning to stage a protest outside a brothel where her husband spent $6,000 on a 7-hour rampage sex binge. I put rampage in there. That left workers too tired to go on. So they had to tap out. This guy...
I need to take the rest of the day off.
This guy must have been on massive amounts of like Viagra or something like this. And the amount of anger this guy must have felt to do this.
Why anger, though?
Well, to charge yourself up this much, I would imagine like he was on a mission. And you typically, after a guy orgasms, they feel settled and relaxed and at peace. Not with this guy. There is something in his head that said, keep going. You have a job to do.
You got to power through it, Mike.
But $6,000 for 7 hours. So it's like $1,000 an hour almost. That's crazy.
Okay, I need money.
The married man paid cash for the first hour because he didn't want his wife to find out. Well, okay. Then
he's okay for the first hour, but
Then he paid for more fetish and fantasy action by bank transfer before pulling out his credit card when a further transaction failed to go through. She told cash, bank transfers, credit card. After his wife found out about the X-rated session, he told her he was drunk and on drugs at the time and could not remember a thing. That's a good excuse.
Unfortunately, everyone there remembers him.
Yeah, and they got his money. That's, I think, non-returnable. Like, you can't return that stuff. So
Drugs or sex?
Both. Both. All of it.
I want you to take me someplace where I can find some drugs and some women.
You go to the
Gold Coast.
You want to go to the Pentagon Grand Brothel on the Gold Coast.
I wonder if that I couldn't remember a thing excuse worked.
I don't remember. It wasn't me.
But Miss Pfeiffer says the gentleman seemed coherent at the time and even successfully negotiated a discount with one of her girls. Well, this guy's a great skilled negotiator in the heat of the moment. Wow, I didn't know.
I'll tell you what, we need a 10% off or I'm going to destroy everything here, including you.
Mrs. Pfeiffer is fine with the women peacefully protesting, but hopes that her demonstration doesn't put off paying customers coming through the door. She has encouraged the woman to...
Wait, why would it put other customers off?
Well, if there's a protest outside, sometimes people just don't want to go into the store.
I thought you meant this dude's performance. I misunderstood.
No, not the guy's performance. The wife's protest at his performance. So she has encouraged the woman to contact the police if she believes her husband was ripped off. It says she does not believe he was that drunk, given he continued paying for services for so long. Ms. Pfeiffer added that the man had wanted to pay for more raunchy activities, but the sex workers were too tired to carry on. Holy moly.
They needed 2.5 gallons of blood.
Yeah, they need to inject him with like youthful blood to keep going.
Maybe get the Keith Richards treatment where they take all your blood out and put in fresh blood.
Quote, he went to great lengths to keep paying. Plus, he negotiated a discount for some of the fetishes and fantasies he ordered. Our girls are good negotiators and would have been very coherent to cut a deal. I wonder what kind of deal he cut. Like, how about 40% discount on the whips, 20% discounts on the handcuffs, and we can start talking. Maybe this.
Look, I'm not paying full price for chains. I don't care what you say.
How about you throw in season tickets to the Broncos, too?
And I brought my own blood, so there should be a discount.
She added that it was unclear whether the woman was more upset with her husband for having sex with other women or for spending the money. That is a bit of a conundrum there. $6,000, that's a lot of money.
That's a lot. I think she's more upset about the money.
I think initially it was the sex, and then when she found out it was the money, she was more pissed off about the money. Quote, it's not our problem. We are a legal business with, and this was a legitimate service with a legitimate charge. He knew what he was doing. He just got caught. If the woman is mad about the $6,000, take it up with the husband, not us.
So actually that raises a question then. So she's going to go, the wife is going to go protest at the brothel?
Yes.
Because her husband went there and made the Hall of Fame.
It's unclear what she's exactly protesting, whether or not it was the financial transaction or that the brothel exists for married men to potentially go there and spend a lot of money. It's unclear exactly what she's protesting.
I'll give you $10,000.
He's not a good negotiator.
No, you go the other way, Hulk.
Yeah.
There's a comment in here, the only reason it ended when it did is because the girls were too tired and wanted to finish. The implication there, if they had more girls, he would have just kept tearing through them.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
That's it. I'm done today.
Throw in the towel.
You keep going.
I'll quit today.
Nope.
Here's a shot of adrenaline and some poppers. You're going to do it.
Maybe I should just quit and shut the show
poppers.
Here's some poppers. Smell this out.
Sniff this real quick, and we're good to go
walk
again.
away from this place so bad.
Nope. Getting paid.
You're getting paid good money to do this. They probably after hour or two, okay, he's probably done. But I bet this guy was going to the bathroom and doing Viagra, and he went in there prepped. This guy was probably planning this for a long time. And this is
he's just crushing Blue Chew and adrenaline.
Probably exactly. He plans I'm gonna go in there with my bag of Blue Chew. I got adrenaline. I got a little Coke. I can go
double up on my TRT.
Yeah, I can do this all night. This is what I'm gonna do. And he knew he had $6,000. And if someone asked me, hey, do a bank transfer right now, I was I got to log into the bank. I got to do a whole bunch of stuff in order to do that. This guy knew how to do it on the fly. It was no big deal. He knew he was going to have to move to that kind of transaction at some point during the night.
Well, I almost get the feeling that once he broached that, he was trying to keep it under the table with cash. Mm-hmm. Once he went beyond that, he said, screw it, here's a credit card.
That's why I said it was anger. He thought of nothing but himself in that moment. He didn't think that, you know what, we probably could use this for the kids' college, but fuck them. It's all about me right now. That's
what with those kids.
Yeah.
Let's get some more Coke in here.
This guy is selfish and probably has some real issues to work on. He probably was on drugs, but they weren't the drugs that impair your judgment. Sure, all drugs impair your judgment in some way, but some just make you want to do crazy shit. He probably was on a lot of Coke. And if you got Coke, you might wind up with Coke dick. That's why you need the Viagra to combat the Coke dick. And that's what he did.
He's trying to self-moderate.
He's going to die of a heart attack is what I'm trying to say.
This guy's going to need 2.5 gallons worth of blood.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Hey, call that blood guy. I need some of that blood.
I think this guy should get together with that naked guy from Disneyland and start a podcast.
Maybe it was the same guy. How do we know?
Yeah, we don't know.
Just returned from a trip to Disneyland. Shit.
I'd watch that podcast. They just talked about all the fucked up shit they do on drugs.
what kind of drugs they take and what they do.
Yeah.
Woo! It's one time.
What are you doing this weekend? Well, I'm gonna do a little meth. I'm gonna go to Walmart, see what happens.
Start a fight at Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah. All right, let's see what else you got over there.
All right.
This was my ass.
It was some bunch of girls there. This is a quick follow-up story because we talked about this. If you recall, a few weeks ago, get this in the carrot shop for you while I clean up this link. All right, there you go. A few weeks ago, was it Kraft was trying to make moist the word of the year.
Yes.
And we tried to participate on the day they were doing some sort of click-a-thon or some crap and couldn't figure out what was going on. It was not well promoted. It didn't seem to have much going on. There didn't seem to be a whole lot of uptake. So instead, Merriam-Webster comes out and announces this as the word of the year.
Oh, so we have a word of the year. Okay, let's take a look at this. So Merriam-Webster's announces their 2023 word of the year. So here we go. It is
Coke Dick. Sorry.
Authentic. Yes.
Yeah, that's my reaction too.
The word is generally well searched on the dictionary website, but reached new heights this year. Editor-at-large Peter Sokołowski told the AP. So moist didn't get it. So Kraft did not manage to get moist as the number one word of the year.
No, I think they failed at that. Sorry.
We were we wanted to see it happen.
Bullshit.
We see in 2023 a kind of crisis of authenticity, he said. What we realize is that when we question authenticity, we value it even more. Can we trust whether a student wrote this paper? Can we trust whether a politician made this statement? We don't always trust what we see anymore. We sometimes don't believe our own eyes or our own ears. We now recognize that authenticity is a performance itself.
No, this is just a terrible choice.
Yeah.
That's some goddamn bullshit.
I would like to know what the runners-up were.
Yeah, there had to be like a top 10. They must have debated this around the water cooler.
There's a whiteboard in Merriam-Webster's ivory tower where they've got all sorts of options, and they picked authentic.
The word of the year in 2022, for people who don't remember, was gaslighting.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was. It said it right here. Gaslighting.
No, they're making that up.
No, it says it right here, Cretched. I see it.
No, that never happened.
Okay.
Drugs or sex?
All right, let's do another headline here. This might be the last one of the night.
No. All right, I'm going to rattle off some headlines here. Oh, geez, what's going on here? So many oddball bullshit stories here. We've got, we do have that RoboCop trailer if you want to see that too. We have a headline from Baltimore Banner: a steady stream of human pee is harming the historic buildings.
Okay.
We have a British hospital where worker had sex with 100 corpses, failed to protect those it cared for. We have a drug suspect claims someone else put meth in his underwear while he was asleep.
Well played.
We have an Ohio attorney suspended over pooping in a Pringles can. Let's see. We got another Disneyland story where the animatronic Snow White has her arm ripped off by one of the seven dwarves. We have a woman who has a KFC themed wedding.
I'm kind of curious about the meth guy.
You want the meth guy?
Yeah.
Other people hiding stuff in his trunks.
Yeah, maybe it's true.
Someone broke in here and hid this in my pants.
Sure.
All right.
Remember we had the story a couple weeks ago about the guy who the police visited his house and he put a sign out.
Like sign up said he's not here?
He's not here. I believed him.
Well, we were leaving, but then we saw him in the backyard, so.
Drug suspect claims someone put meth in his underwear while he slept.
That's some good news on that front.
I believe him. He looks like that kind of guy.
He
would
looks
be framed.
trustworthy.
Yeah, he looks very frameable. I'll be honest. When corrections officers found a plastic cylinder containing methamphetamine under his penis, Florida man denied ownership of the narcotics and claimed to be unsure how the package got in his underwear. You know, you didn't feel it down there? Yeah.
I don't know how that got there.
The discovery of the drugs in the drawers of Caleb Phillips, 46, came yesterday evening as he undressed from his civilian clothes and changed into his jail clothing at the Indian River County Jail. Phillips was arrested Monday on warrant, charging him with failure to appear in court in connection with a pending 2022 DUI case. Oh, dude, you just kind of... I think meth is way worse than a DUI case, right?
That's frying pan into the fire there.
Yeah. Seen above, Phillips reportedly told a sheriff's deputy that he did not place the cylinder in his underwear, but speculated that the meth somehow was placed there while he was sleeping. He's a heavy sleeper. He sleeps through anything, so I can totally see this. I know this guy. Phillips apparently did not identify who purportedly accused his underwear for meth delivery. Okay, so Phillips apparently did not identify who purportedly accused his underwear or accessed his underwear for meth delivery. Small type here. While disavowing knowledge of the cylinder, Phillips advised that he believed it to contain Advil pills. Why would he even say that?
Yeah, why would you change your story? That you had him going with the...
I didn't put it there.
The meth fairy broke into my house and stuck this in my shorts.
Yeah,
and now you're changing it to that's my emergency aspirin.
Yeah, so he believed it contained Advil pills. Cops noted that the meth was inside a small package of Advil inside the cylinder, indicating that Phillips was aware that of what was in the container. So okay,
this dude's story's falling apart.
Yeah, he should have stuck with "I didn't know it was there."
I didn't put this in my pants.
Yeah.
Case closed. Time to move on.
I would have believed him.
He should have said that too.
That's it. It's just case closed. Time to move on. It wasn't mine. Phillips' rap sheets includes prior convictions of DUI, resisting arrest, marijuana possession, fleeing or eluding, possession of a drug paraphernalia, leaving the scene of an accident, disorderly intoxication, and driving without a license. That's the most important one. Okay, well, hopefully it's all a big misunderstanding. He can get out. Why does it look like he has like a barber's bib on? Like in his mugshot here, it looks like he has a barber bib on. Like they put.
You know, it's a good point. Maybe they arrested him while he was getting his haircut.
Probably. He does have a very tight knit shaved head. His beard's a little unkept. Why didn't you hide the meth in your beard? It was so long.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Like, yeah, they make you strip, but they don't really go through your beard, do they?
They're not going to go digging in your beard. You don't know what's in there.
Old meth beard. Come on. And it's like, you could do that. This guy, God, what an amateur.
This guy screwed up. He should have stuck to his guns on this one, but no, he immediately rolled over.
Yep. What a loser. Stick with your story.
And watch out for, that sneaky meth fairy.
Old penis meth. Hey, thank you, everyone, for hanging out for this podcast. Hopefully, everyone learned something very important that they can go tell their families or friends, if you have any. Maybe. Also, go check out the Grimerica podcast. I'm on there. The most recent episode, I think. Unless they edit out all my conversation. It's possible.
Just take them out. There's just their responses. Oh, really?
And completely wipe out any of my replies, which might be funny. So you can go to obdmpod.com or ourbigdumbmouth.com if you want to support the show, or join us on Instagram or Twitter. Just go to OBDM Pod. It'd be great if we got like 5,000 followers on Twitter. Even though I reply to people on there, I don't post a lot, but I do like a lot of replies. So I try to engage. Maybe I should be more active over there posting stories. We'll see what happens. Because we are streaming there. Every show streams there now. So it is a platform that we
That's a
probably
good point.
should be on.
There's no one watching right now.
And I get usually a few hundred views over there somehow.
Well, no, wait a minute. I'm watching live right now, and it says 0 viewers. How is that possible?
You don't count. You're nobody.
What, it like subtracts me out? It says that's the same dude. Take him out of there. Don't count that one.
The counting mechanism is a little goofy over there because somebody like a few episodes ago said the exact same thing. They said it says no one's watching, but I'm obviously watching live. Like someone said that in real time while they're watching the show. So who knows?
How dare you?
Yeah, something's weird there.
It's all wrong. It's all wrong.
Blah, blah, blah.
I just opened it in another browser. I'm watching twice. It still says there's 0 viewers.
This is all wrong.
It is all wrong. Well, we'll be back on Saturday. Yes, we will. I don't think Joe will be here.
3 days.
We'll see.
Joe said he's doing work stuff on Saturday as well.
Okay.
End of story.
That's the worst kind of work stuff.
Yeah, Saturday work stuff.
It's not like he's in the CIA where he has to work at odd hours.
No. Well, thank you, Cratchit. Shop Lagoo, everyone.
This is where Joe would say, bye, y'all.
Yes.
And then I'd say, keep watching the skis for people sneaking meth into your pants.
Booster seats.
Put that on my tombstone. That's fun news.
Anybody know my Richie?
Yourself kind of guy.
Is this fucking what?
Get into trouble, baby.
That's about all.
Shablagu. Sit, Ubu, sit. Good dog.
I'm done! I'm done! Done!
That's it. I'm done today.